Hey everybody, Matt with Low Cash Homestead. I am back to using my CyberShot because I had a malfunction with my other camera, and I've since then removed all the files and reformatted the card. But this time I want to make sure it works, so I'm using my CyberShot. Okay, it's been raining for a couple of days, so I've been filling seed trays. I've only got one tray left. I got a bunch of seed tray packages over there. That rope belongs to Uncle Jeff. He left it here last time we took a tree down. Actually, only God makes dirt. We're mixing dirt, okay? You understand?
Yeah.
Can Daddy have a turn?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. And put that. Okay? I don't want to
Daddy, look. A box of a ladder.
Okay. Rocky's in the ball. He's stuck in there. So it's been raining for the last 3 days or so, and so I've just been planting a lot of trays.
I'm faking I have resonance.
You're faking you have what?
Resonance.
Resonance?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So
You got that.
anyway, but we were planting all those trees, and in the process of doing that, I broke my hoe. So I'm inside and I haven't had the peat moss or anything yet, but I made up so many trays I gotta make up more dirt. And without a hoe, I'm using a sheetrock taping knife, one of the ones that was already bent, so I don't feel too bad about it. So that's what we're doing here at the Low Cash Homestead. We're mixing dirt, and then I'll add peat moss and either vermiculite or perlite, whichever one's open. Hey, it's Matt with the Low Cash Homestead.
Why am I going up here?
Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
You go right here.
Good evening, everybody. This is Matt with the Low Cash Homestead. I wanted to share with you one of the projects we got done today. This is an old cedar chest. A buddy of mine had it in his burn pile, and I said, hey, let me have that. And so we knocked the bottom out of it, and then we just took a circular saw and kind of cleaned up the bottom edges. I originally was going to use this as a fish tank, so it is lined with aluminum. This aluminum is glued in to the point where it's just not, there's no way it's going to come out. But we're going to use it as a planter box, and then we took this, this is PVC electrical pipe. I had this, well, I brought it with me. We used it on our other homestead, our suburban homestead, and then when I dismantled as much of the infrastructure as I could, when we moved out here, I actually brought this with me. They are 5 foot, the pipes are 5 foot from end to end, and then we bent them into the box. Now they're a little bit irregular, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take a heat gun and just try to round them out a lot. And then of course my kids got into the toy cache while they were out here today, so I have toys all over the garage as well. I cannot wait to get a good break in the weather where we can get a dumpster in here and just declutter the garage. I have to do that every spring. I have to declutter the garage every spring, and then it gets filled with crap every winter. So we're going to take a heat gun. We're going to try and see if we can give these uniform shape, because they did kind of bend towards the middle. But I'm going to heat them up, see if they'll form in a little bit, and then I'll show you the next project. This is Matt with the Low Cash Homestead. Thank you very much. So, let me get this straight. Since Daddy peed in the bottle when he wasn't able to come inside and go potty, you want to pee in a bottle when you can still go inside and go potty? Alright, you want to pee in the bottle? Okay. Let's pee in the bottle. It's a long story about why I peed in the bottle. It's one of my kids got up. I was in the garage sowing some seeds, and one of my children got up and wait a minute, tiny lady, and locked the garage door. And I didn't realize it till I was trying to get back in the house. And even though I tried to circle the garage, the animals kept running in and out of the garage, and made it a very arduous process to airlock the house and get back in. So, pee in a bottle. Oh my goodness, bud. I hope you have the lid for that. Because all pee bottles must have a lid.
That's my Harry, I peed in the bottle too.
Okay, so heat gunning them didn't really work. I probably should have formed them before I just squeezed them in there. But this is going to work. This is going to be a planter box. And we are going to use painter's drop on this one. So we'll just stretch it on there, and then also we're going to staple some weed blocker onto the bottom and use painter's drop as the cover material. I'm not going to invest in greenhouse poly or anything. I'm just going to use poly from Walmart, also known as painter's drop. So will it be a little less clear? Yeah. But it'll do the job for what we're going to use this box for. Okay, Daddy has to put his gloves back on. We have to put peat moss in it. Peat moss is going to make it light. It's going to make it hold water so that when it rains, it holds the water in there.
Yeah, well, Daddy. That look what we're doing. We're doing like people do like sand.
Yeah, rub it between your hands, and it'll help take out any little bumps and stuff in there. There you go. You gotta get your hands in the dirt. Alright, so as far as this box goes, we just stretched some weed fabric on it. We put some holy moly amount of staples here, and then also along this bottom line here. Let's see if I can get, there we go. So it's on the sides and on the ends right there. So we just stretched it out, put a holy moly bunch of staples in it. Now flip this back over, and then so there's our box. It's got the weed fabric in it. It is cedar, but it does have an aluminum lining. And then it has these hoops, which will stretch our plastic over. And there's one of our planter boxes.
Huh? Daddy, look.
Yeah.
Batman.
You're stuck on the Batman, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're always singing Batman. That's Sting. He's kind of like Hulk,
He is.
but not as cool.
Dad, he is. Inside that gum. Dad, I need one that is inside that gum.
You find one that dumps? Is it out here?
No.
Well, don't bring any toys from inside. You got to use the toys that are outside.
I can't buy a dump truck.
Well, outside toys are outside toys, and outside can sometimes mean the garage. Good evening, everybody. Matt with the Little Cash Homestead. I showed you the first planter box that we made out of that cedar chest that my buddy had thrown in his burn pile that I got from him. Stapled some fabric liner and stuff on the bottom of it. So that should be good. This is that cedar chest was like a 14-inch deep box. And if I remember right, this one's 15.5 deep. But this is a poly tote. HDPE tote. It's an HDX tote. It's like a $8 tote at Home Depot. I was using it as a toy box, and my kids smashed the bottom out of it. And we'll stand this up real quick. You see all those holes through it, and then also here, they busted the lid even, you know, so it's pretty busted up. But I didn't want to just count on that crack for water to drain, so everywhere there was an intersection, I punched holes. I punched holes so that we would get good drainage. And if this lid becomes the bottom, then these channels here become the lowest point. So you just punch holes all the way in all those channels, and I'm thinking that will give us adequate drainage. We're not going to need to use weed blocker here because the lid is going to be our weed blocker. And then I punched some 3/4 inch holes in each rib, and that is because poly does not breathe. The hoops were made out of that 1/2 inch Schedule 40 PVC, electrical PVC. And then what we did, well, these HDX totes, they have these little grooves, and then you have a matching one on the lid, and I guess that's for locking it or whatever you want to do there. Well, I just took a Max 7/8 unibit and pushed it up against the side of this hole and ran that through, and pushed it up the side against this hole and ran that through, because these are going to line up. And then we took our 5-foot sections, torqued them. Well, I just torqued them by hand. I just grabbed each end and just kind of folded them into the holes. And then we ran screw here to hold that end. And then we ran a screw there to hold that end. I mean, this is full of dirt and stuff. Are you going to be able to carry it around with these hoops? No. But if you need to quickly disassemble it, you can pull out 8 screws and pop the whole thing apart and relocate it. So that's just another project that we accomplished here today at the Low Cash Homestead. All right, I'm gonna chill for a minute and just sit down. You guys have some fun in the dirt, and then I'll do my last sheet. Okay, guys? Did it keep its shape when you put it out?
Nope.
You're right. That's really soft dirt Daddy makes. You need soft dirt for your plants to start growing in.
What did you do with the tractor now to killing this beast? Look how much I done. I made you Dad, the fucking tractor is lost.
Oh no!
What? What did you? I'm covering them up.
And also we got several seed trays going, and which also facilitated me needing to mix up more dirt. And then we just have this covered because we didn't use it all. But my kids had a blast mixing up that dirt and playing in it with little trucks. And I think the Hulk got buried a few times, and I think the Hulk and the Thing had a couple mud fights in there. And at one point, I think a bulldozer toy might have been thrown by the Hulk inside that wheelbarrow. While I just let them play in the dirt for a while. It was a good time for them.
Bigger.
Hey everybody, Matt with the Low Cash Homestead. And then, you know, another thing that we did today was, hopefully, we have this base unit for this popcorn popper repaired. You say, oh, hey man, why are you even trying to fix like a $6 popcorn popper? Well, because I have more than one popcorn popper, and this is the one that the kids get to use. And so, they've already broken a couple of times. And so we basically took the whole thing apart and tried to fix the spindle in here where the air inducer is. So we're going to go ahead, and before we put the whole popcorn popper back together, we're going to fire up the motor and heat unit. Let me go and put the thing back on here. There we go. We're going to fire up the motor and heat unit and see, make sure I don't touch anything so I don't get a nice little shock, and see what we can do here. So there it is. We're going to put the whole body unit back together, get the little swirl cup reattached, get everything, ooh, that's a little warm, get everything put back together, and hope it doesn't break again, because I don't know how many times I can keep fixing this thing. This is Matt with Low Cash Homestead. Thank you very much. Alright, there she is, the popcorn popper that we fixed today. I fired it up before it was assembled to just give it a test run. But seems like she's working. Let's see. Yeah, I feel hot air. So, I think we're good. Matt with Low Cash Homestead. You guys have a good night. Go have some popcorn.